Haha, what's going on, people? B Fife here, back at you with another video. And speaking of videos, if you missed my last one, well then go check it out. Go check it out. Go find it and go check it out. Hey, this theme that they have going on for this game right now, it's kind of a mashup between, remember Def Jam Icon, you know, with all the speakers and the EQ meters and all that stuff, and then bicycle playing cards, you know, with all the little squiggly lines here. It's kind of like some kind of a mashup between those two styles. It's very interesting, but not something that I would have approved if I was on the board, but hey, whatever. Speaking of presentation, the presentation is good, you know. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I do like that they incorporate the you know, the real life footage. I've always wanted them to incorporate real life footage into these games and these video games, especially in the cutscenes when they can, because some of the cutscenes are just horrific. It's hard, they're really hard to swallow when you see guys just bumping into each other, spinning on a dime and walking aimlessly. You know, they're walking towards wherever and then they turn around and then they back on the court, you know, stuff like that. But as you can see, I got the NBA 2K13 demo here, and I actually have it for both systems, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys look at it for both systems. Now it's gonna be a little distorted when you see the video, but you get an idea of what's going on. I did this only because you know, some of you are like me, you have both systems, and so, you know, you might want to decide which system do I want to get this on, because I know sometimes I prefer the PS3 and sometimes I prefer the Xbox 360, and this particular time I prefer the 360. Speaking of, hey, check this out real quick. Another part of the presentation is the audio, of course. You know, they made a big deal about the whole Jay-Z thing, and now that I've seen, you know, the game, I can get excited about the audio. Even though I'm a big audio dude from the start, like I always, like whenever I get retail games, you know, basketball games, I like to set my beats. You know, that's like the first thing I do, because, you know, you spend a lot of time in the menu getting everything set up, and etc, etc. And speaking of that, my man, the Gamer 2323, made a very good point. He says he's a 2K fan, but he says year to year it's kind of difficult for him to jump right into another game, another season of basketball, only because you know, you have to start all over. You have to, you know, a lot of your settings don't go, but, you know, won't carry over. You're my player, he's a rookie again, you know, you spend all that time building him up, and he's doing this. You know, the controls, they'll change the controls, and I agree with him 100%. You know, every game feels like you're starting from scratch. You know, you might, like, whether it's the ISO moves, now you got the control stick. You know, I wish they would do something to where they would keep people, you know, continuing progress in their game. So basically when you're buying a new game, you're trying to, you know, go further down the career of the basketball, you know, the basketball world that you designed, you know, especially if you're into creative players and all that stuff. So, you know, I agree with him on that point. But let's go ahead and move into it real quick. I don't have a lot of time here. So presentation, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the presentation. Oh, graphics. You know, here's the deal. I'm gonna try to make this quick. The graphics between the two systems, the PS3 and the Xbox 360, are the same. But the problem that I have with the graphics is, now I know this is a demo, but this is pretty much how it's going to be. That the guys don't look sharp, like their faces don't look sharp. Everything kind of looks blurry, and, you know, and kind of whitewashed. You know, hopefully they tighten that up. It's a patch. I'm sure they could fix that. You know, or maybe hopefully the retail addresses that. But I just want to say the player models don't look as sharp and crisp as they normally would. Now I'm not talking about LeBron James. Of course, they're gonna make LeBron James look like a real person, you know, because that's one of the marquee players. Even though he's not on the cover, but he's a marquee, you know, icon. He's the MVP, so they're gonna go ahead and take care of him. But just in general, go ahead and take a look at it. I'm talking like, you know, Chambers, you know, excuse me. You know, I'm talking about the secondary dude, you know, Shane, you know, I'm talking about them dudes. All right, so gameplay. There's sliding going on. That's a legacy. It's always going to be in there. Sliding is there, but it is at a minimum this year. So I can go ahead and say that it is what it is. The guys feel a little more sluggish. The momentum of the guys, a little too much for me. I wish they would just lighten up on it just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Just because, like, when when you're trying to do certain moves, it feels like the animations are really, you know, elongated, and you feel like, especially if if you're excited and you don't think that your button command went through, you overcompensate by doing another button command. You know, you can get caught up in animations, and I feel like that acceleration, that turbo doesn't. You miss your window. You know, you miss your window to break that dude's ankles. But you know, I have seen people do it in videos and stuff like, so I know it's possible. But you know, of course, like anything else, the controls, you have to get used to it. You know, start all over, etc., etc. So, so I'm not really big on the sluggishness, but you know, that's a patch. But that's all patch. That's not like the game's ruined or nothing. It's just something that can turn up. Speaking of turning up, they need to tweak the player speeds. Like I'm Westbrook, I'm you know, Wade, and I'm on the fast break, and I feel like dudes is keeping up with me, and I shouldn't feel like that. You know, like I feel like bigs are keeping up with me, Batty A's keeping up with me, and now granted that OKC is a fast team, you know, young fast team. You know, maybe these aren't the best teams to compare that with, but I feel like that might be a problem. You know, but we won't, you know, we really won't get too far into that until the retail comes out. But I did notice it. I'm just letting you know. Control stick, getting used to control stick, of course, like everyone else. You know, so all in all, the demo is a good demonstration for us to see what it is that they are talking about. Now, it looks like what they're saying is there's some validity to what they're saying and those dev diaries and everything like that, and I'm seeing it. I'm also seeing some legacy issues, but I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to save all that for the retail. But I do want to say real quick, because I didn't really talk too much about Xbox versus PS3. I'm really gonna. I think I'm gonna roll with the Xbox version if I purchase this. Just because I think the controls feel a little bit better. I think the controller for the PS3 feels a little too awkward with basketball. And one thing is, I don't usually play basketball on the PS3, so that might have something to do with it. But as far as in graphics, everything is the same. Just a little bit again on the gameplay. That's about it. But other than that, enjoy it. We'll wait for the retail, and we'll see, you know, if this lives up to what it's supposed to be.